Today, I'm going to talk to you about a subject you've never heard me talk about, cryptocurrency. And I know that this is a subject that so many of you are excited to hear about because, after all, it's a big thing out there. But I want to tell you that the biggest mistake that I see people make when it comes to investing in cryptocurrency is how they invest in cryptocurrency. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, if you've ever watched me talk, you know that there are only three ways to grow your money. And those three ways are tax as you go, tax deferred, and tax free. Now, make no mistake about it, there are only three ways to grow your money. So, your brokerage account over here, your IRA over here, or your Roth IRA over here, or whatever, however you have an asset allocated. But bottom line is, most people grow their Bitcoin or their cryptocurrency in tax as they go. And rightfully so. And the reason why is because I personally have never been able to find a good platform on where you can actually go and invest your money in an IRA, a 401k, or a Roth IRA, some kind of tax deferred or tax free platform that made any sense. And certainly not one that I trust. But guess what, folks? I found one. And I brought a special guest here today. His name is Jared Feldman. And I want to introduce you to Jared. And I want to ask Jared a few questions here about, tell us about iTrust Capital and tell us about yourself and welcome.
Thanks for having me. Jared Feldman, SVP of Operations at iTrust Capital. I'm really excited to have this conversation. We talk a lot with folks in the digital asset space, YouTubers, folks on X about our platform. And it's not every day that I get to speak with people that are more focused on the legacy traditional financial system, whether it's stocks, bonds, mutual funds, alternative assets, and get to speak about allocating some funds into digital assets. It's an emerging asset class, and our product, it's a software platform that has both individual retirement accounts, whether it's traditional, Roth, SEP, inherited. And then we also have non-IRA accounts. We can get into our non-IRA accounts, which are premium custody accounts, and how they compare with accounts over at some of the more traditional mainstream exchanges. But for the beginning part of this conversation, we should probably focus on your focus of cups with those different buckets that you can allocate funds into, and why folks want to allocate digital assets into tax sheltered vehicles, right? Because as your audience is very well aware, most trading in the United States occurs in tax sheltered vehicles, whether it's an IRA, 401k, pension, and that's because people want to be able to take assets in which they earn income or gains and be able to have it in a tax sheltered vehicle where they defer on those taxes, or if it's a Roth IRA, never have to pay those taxes at all as long as they hang on to it until they're 59 and a half.
Right. And that being said, if you know the highest income taxes have ever been in the United States, which is actually 94%, top marginal tax bracket of 94%, average of 57% since the inception of the temporary income tax and the establishment of the IRS in 1913. Currently, we're sitting at 37%. But the worst part about it is we have a national debt of 36 trillion, almost 37 trillion dollars, and an unfunded deficit for Social Security, Medicare, and prescription drugs of 227 trillion dollars with a $5 trillion budget. So it's pretty safe to say, based on that information, that in the future, taxes are going to be higher. And for most people, their tax bracket's going to be the same or higher, despite everything they told them. So having that ability to get to a Roth, or right now, maybe you want to be in an IRA, is powerful. But my problem was I could never find a place that I could take my cryptocurrency and do that I would trust it. Okay. And then along came you, iTrustCapital. And so how is why crypto? Why now? Why 2025?
There's a variety of reasons why people are interested in allocating into digital assets. The most original reason was a macro hedge against government spending, against government overreach, and having a money and an asset class that isn't produced by the government. The other reason was inflation. That's kind of what's popped up over the last 10 years that people want a hedge on inflation. We also find that people have gotten more interested as there's been more institutional adoption. So I think that as people see more institutional adoption, they want to be able to allocate into it from a retail perspective to diversify their portfolio.
When you say institutional adoption, I mean, are you talking about the current government?
Not the government. I think now with the new administration, we've seen a new regulatory stance toward digital assets. We have bills that are going through Congress. The stablecoin bill, the market structure bill will probably be next up on the agenda once the stablecoin bill is passed. The market structure bill will determine which regulatory entities regulate which class of crypto asset, right? If it's a security token, then the SEC would regulate it. If it's a commodity like a Bitcoin, then the CFTC will regulate it. So the government will have those conversations. And then the strategic Bitcoin reserve is coming into play. So the government is adopting it in a lot of ways. But when I say institutional adoption, I'm talking about the BlackRocks of the world and the Fidelities of the world who are now discussing this asset with their high net worth and corporate clients. I'm talking about all the companies and banks that are building using blockchain technology and adopting stable coins and all of those fun and cool things that are happening in the digital asset space. This technology is being adopted by some of the largest institutions in the world.
Yet a lot of people don't understand cryptocurrency and they don't understand how easy it is to set up a self-directed crypto account.
They don't realize it. A lot of people are getting more crypto curious. And as they explore the crypto world, a lot of times they get onboarded onto these mainstream traditional exchanges. And these exchanges are great. There's a lot of merit to them, and they're pretty easy to set up, just like our account is easy to set up. But what people find is that if you're new to crypto, they end up on some of these exchanges and experience social engineering and bad actors that try and successfully get into their accounts. And we've seen story after story after story of people that get recommended to allocate and invest into crypto by their aunt or uncle or even grandson or granddaughter. And they set up an account with one of these exchanges, and then their information gets out there. There's been a lot of news about that lately, or even just if their information gets out for any variety of reasons that people's information gets breached nowadays, and they get text messages and phone calls, and they unfortunately fall for social engineering scams. And once these bad actors get into their account, they're able to drain the account and send their crypto anywhere they want. And it's billions of dollars are lost every year due to these scams,
I
which is
would,
why
I,
we've built our platform in a closed loop, right? All iTrust Capital products are built in a closed loop system in which there's no hot wallets to drain. So it's almost like our clients are bowling with the guardrails up, and they want to be able to feel safe and secure by allocating into digital assets. And even if something were to happen and their account was breached, those bad actors are not able to drain the accounts like they can with some of those mainstream exchanges.
well, I sure wish I knew that many years ago because I got taken for about 6 Bitcoins in one of the biggest scams ever. It was called USI Tech. And so it's just one of those things. But at the end of the day, you know, when you go to invest in any kind of cryptocurrency, most people don't want to put their liquid cash there. They would like to put cash that's more long-term cash. And this is why IRAs and Roth IRAs would be such a wonderful thing to be investing there because it's long-term cash. It's not like you're going to miss that. Okay. And if you have time, you're going to want to go out to our website and watch a course on how to convert your money and why to convert your money over to Roth IRAs. But if I was to move an IRA to you, I was to take my IRA and do a trustee to trustee transfer into your account and set up a crypto account with you in an IRA, would it be possible for me to convert that at some point?
It's one of the most common things that people do on our platform. So we have folks who are, let's say they're at like a Schwab or an E-Trade or a Fidelity. They'll initiate an IRA transfer to us. And if they don't have a Roth IRA, what they'll often do is they'll send over the funds in their traditional IRA, or let's say they have a 401k with their old employer. They'll send it over to us. We'll convert it to a Roth IRA. We'll give them all the tax paperwork that they need in order for them to be able to properly file and pay their taxes for that tax year. But those funds will be converted into a Roth IRA. So they'll continue to grow tax sheltered, but they'll come out tax free. I remember I worked with a client years ago and she converted 3 Bitcoin at $30,000 each from her traditional IRA to her Roth IRA. And her family were mocking her. They were ridiculing her for taking on an extra $90,000 of ordinary taxable income for that year. Well, now those Bitcoin would be worth 107,000 times three, right? So $321,000 that she would be taxed on versus the 90,000 that she paid taxes on back in 2021. So there's a lot of power behind deploying that type of strategy.
So what's next for iTrust?
So people have been asking us for years to take our closed loop system for IRAs that I was describing before and reproducing it for a non-IRA, which is why we created our premium custody account. What is a closed loop system? It means that funds can only be sent from you and they can only be sent back to you. And all of our products are built in closed loop systems. So if a client wants to withdraw from us, we verify them on the way out, right? So even if someone did have someone get into their account who is a bad actor, those bad actors typically stop once they realize that they can't get the funds out. So we went into this new foray with premium custody accounts, and we just love the fact that people are starting to allocate into their non-IRA accounts as well. And they're able to access it 24/7. And even, folks who are crypto curious who had previously just invested in ETFs love the fact that now they get to allocate into 80 digital assets, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and they also get to have direct exposure to the cryptocurrency on our platform. So we're really excited about recreating that closed loop system in the non-IRA arena.
Before we jet out of here, is there anything else that you would add?
I would just say that if you sign up, make sure that you utilize the QR code that you're providing here, so your clients and your viewers can get $100 once they deposit the funds into their account. They can go in there and click the link and follow our process. It's a super step-by-step, easy process in which they give us some basic information. They're going to tell us if they want to fund with a cash contribution, an IRA transfer, or a 401k rollover, and they'll go through each step, but they can also reach out to us directly, right? We're US based. We have US support. We're available 7 a.m. to 5 o'clock Pacific on weekdays. People can call us, they can live chat, they can text us, they can send us emails. We take a lot of pride in the service that we give people, which we believe really stands out as compared to other crypto companies when it comes to service. So I would just leave that with your audience to, if they do get into crypto and they are crypto curious, to make sure that they're doing it with a platform like ours that has a secure ecosystem, that really emphasizes security and redundancy in everything that they do, and we're happy to help along the way.
Well, I've been very happy with iTrust myself. And so I want to encourage anybody that's looking for a platform to do this with an IRA or a Roth IRA. Here's the place to do it. Scan this code, literally go out there, get yourself a $100 bonus immediately. Get on this, get it funded, get going. Now, remember to go out here, subscribe to our YouTube channel, give us some comments. What are your thoughts on cryptocurrency? Where do you think it's going? Do you think you should be putting in your non-qualified money, your qualified money, your Roth IRAs? Should you be converting? Share this with friends, family, because people need to know that there's a platform out there now that they can actually go and do this and feel safe about it and not have to worry about getting ripped off as happens so many times in these things. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. Remember to live like you're going to die tomorrow and plan like you're going to live forever because you just might. Keep smiling, and I look forward to seeing you in the very near future. Make it a great day now.